Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and it's Free Pattern Friday! Yay! It's Free Pattern Friday! Today we're going to bring you part 3 of the Bubbles block. The Bubbles block also falls under the String and Crumb series, and basically it's strings, or you can use crumb blocks, sewn onto a coffee filter. Now we have a nice round template to work with. So today we're going to show you how to do some portholes with these. It's going to be lots of fun. But first, I want to talk to you about Jamie at B'gosh Quilting. B'gosh Quilting is a new channel. It's just starting out, and she looks like she's a very talented quilter, and she's got some, you know, some interesting twists on stuff. So go check her out. Tell her Brenda sent you, and we'll see if we can give her a surprise shout out. Okay? So. And we also have a Facebook group, and the Facebook group is trying to test out impromptu sew dates. We also offer a monthly sew date with other crews, like Marie's Scrappy Creation. Their crew all comes and joins. And it's a big fun group of happy, talented quilters, sewers, and we giggle the day away and we chat and we get lots of sewing done. So come on in, we got lots of sewing to do. Okay, so here is the bubble block we're going to use, and you can see I used all the grays and blacks and some black and white prints with, you know, just a little pop of color. There's little pops of color throughout, you know, the blacks as well. Some of my blacks are more colorful than others. And I still got the tea bag paper on the backside, the coffee filter. And this is a coffee filter, this coffee filter is tea bag weight. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure this from tip to top, and we're going to find out how big it is. We are at exactly 8 inches. So if we do this folding and cutting off all the excess, that's what we're going to do next. We are going to be looking at our block at 8 inches. So we want to make sure, I don't even have a pin handy. Here we go. We want to make sure we're there at 8 inches. And we're going to put this down on our cutting board and do 8 inches. Now, 8 inches is kind of a good number to be at. No, it's not 8 inches. It's got to be 7 inches. No, it's 8 inches. Well, did we not measure this right? Let's measure it again. This is exactly 8 inches. Okay, this is 8 inches. So, if we put this down on the 8-inch line, we should have 8 inches, and we don't. We're a little shy. This ruler is a little shy. Why is that? Okay, well, now I'm taking a little rotary cutter, right? I'm just going to open the blade up, because you can't, it's easier to get this in, and I might have to stand up to do this. There. Now, let's see if that worked. No, it did not. Okay, get my fingers back from where it is, where the cutting is. No, that's not working out. You know what? That didn't work, because that is not an 8-inch circle. It's 8.5. It'll be the finished amount, and we don't want finished, we want the full amount. So we are going to put it at a 7-inch circle. 7-inch. And we're going to cut off some of the paper. Alright? Because that's just the way it needs to go. You know, if you're cutting a porthole, and this porthole I'm cutting now is going to be 7-inch. If you're cutting a porthole, your hole is 1 inch smaller than your hole is 1 inch smaller than your circle. And it doesn't seem that anything is going to fit like that. Right? Oh, this is better. But all the seams get in the way. I make this cutting a little bit difficult. There we go. Okay. We'll just trim it up, make it work. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I missed my blade here. It's probably a 28-inch rotary cutter. The blade gets dull very quickly. So just take your time if you have to freehand it and then close it up. So now we cut a 7-inch circle, right? That's the circle width I use. So now the hole I'm going to create in my background is going to be 6 inches, right? So now I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold this, and I haven't decided what size I'm going to make this, so I'm just going to fold it and do a 6-inch circle, lining everything up the best I can. Line everything up. Okay, I gotta go back this way, and I don't have a surface to cut on then. Okay, so now I'm gonna go like this. Let's hope this. Nope. I'm not gonna have a flat surface to cut on. Oh no. Okay, here. There. Now let's see if that works. So here is a 6-inch circle. I'll just get rid of the little bits that are hung up. My cutting board is not lying flat on my table because of there. And I'm just going to use this. I'm going to keep this for other little projects I got. Close up my thing. Now, I was shown this trick, and I'm going to show you. This is the coolest little trick. What you do is you do your edges first. You do these little edges first, right? You just finger press them into place. Then, while you're still there, you fold it over, right? So now you're doing 4, and you just finger press the whole works down. Now this is what my grandmother showed me to do, is just do the 4. Well, my friend, my very talented quilting friend, Marianne, and she's also a guild sister, she said, do it one more time. So I'm just putting in little press or pleats or little marks right where I need them to be. Now, what I'm going to do, oops, is the notches. I'm going to fold it like this because it's getting too thick. And I'm going to cut my little notches, not down a quarter. I don't even go down a 1/4 of an inch. Go down like, you know, 1/8 of an inch, just so you know where the notch is. Just so you see it, right? Basically, you're doing little notches, and now you're going to do like a little notch there, and a little notch here, and here. And basically now you have 8 points of reference on this fabric and this circle, right? So now this is going to go really easy now. So now you're going to lay them down just like so. I'm going to get this out of the way because I no longer need it. Okay. And I'm going to lay this out so that my first notch goes here. Wait a minute, my first notch goes here. So I'm going to lay it like this. Okay, now, so I'm going to just do this. Now, as I go past those little notches, I'm going to do a little back stitch as well. Just a little back stitch, just to make it a little more secure. And now I'm going to gently pull this around, just very slowly, and I'm going to find my next notch, which is here. I missed not marking it. Okay, there. So I'm going to match this little notch here with this little notch here. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. And that's going to give me my first guideline. That's going to be my first guide as to where I have to be. I'm just going to slowly proceed. There's no rush, no big big anything, and you kind of adjust as you go, because you want to bring these two edges together very nicely. And that's the whole trick about doing any circle. Okay, and you know, sometimes, okay, you just got to do a little bit more negotiating. And we're going to go right up to the first notch. I'm going to go back. There we go. Now we're going to find the next notch. This next notch is here, and the next notch is here. So we're going to, again, negotiate this around. Right? So we've got, so it looks good. There. And you pull them together as you go, right? And you kind of get it, after you do a while, you get a feel for them, right? You do get a real feel for where you are. I'm at my notch, I go back and forth just to secure it. Now I look for my next notch. So my next notch is here. You see that little notch there? And here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this out, and I got quite a ways, and I'm just going to kind of negotiate and hope for air. I'm going to put it down a bit, line it up a bit better. There we go. Okay. It's like sewing a moving target. I guess sometimes, you know, people are like, I hate sewing circles, I hate doing portholes. But you know what? And you just gotta take your time and learn to take your time and just go with it, right? So, and this, okay, this is where my little notch is here. I don't know if you can see it there, that little notch. And this is where the other little notch is. So basically this goes around, just around and around and around. It's all good. And always stop with your needle down. If you have that as a function on your sewing machine, now would be a good time to use it. I like doing portholes. I just think they're a lot of fun. You can get a lot of interesting modern looks with them too, you know. Okay. Back and forth a bit, back and forth there, just so we get that nice. Now we look for our next notch is here, and our next notch is here, so we're good. There, okay. There we go. We have 2 more notches left and we're good to go. How is your week going? Are you finding this is a rushed up season for you and you're kind of like stressed out, or do you kind of get into the, okay, Christmas is coming, we're going to be ready for it, it's all good, you know, like, are you in that kind of a mode or not? I'm just curious here, because I know this season, this kind of time of year can be very, very stressful for people, and it's, you know, then it's no longer fun. Okay, last bit. So I've got my 2 notches there together, and you can almost do this. Like, you can pin these if you want. I don't. I just find if I have to pin them, they're difficult. They're too difficult to be fun. So I just get in there and I just start there. I'm just gonna make sure I got no bubbles underneath, no ripples. I'm not sewing in a ripple. Sewing in a ripple right now would be bad. A ripple or a pucker right now would be bad. No bad news. Oops. There we go. And we've got our last notch, and we just have this little hole here to fill up. So we just want to bring this around just like so. There we go. And we're done. So we have our, just about at our ta-da moment. Let me get a little more thread out of there. Okay. So now, before we flip this, we're going to take this and get some tea bag paper off, because we don't need it anymore. Our tea bag paper has done its duty by making a beautiful circle for us of string. And you could use crumbs, like I say. You can use anything you want. If you want to just do this out of solid pieces of fabric, I have many examples already that I have done with this. And I just want to give you, basically what I want to do is I want to give you the idea and then give you permission to make it yours and change it and just have fun. You know, we are going to be doing a circle curve boot camp, and I'm not sure when it's coming. I'm just going to rough this up because this is not coming off. So that's fine. There's some of it that just doesn't want to come off every once in a while because it's been too soft now, right? It's got too soft and too manipulated, right? So I like working with this stuff. This stuff is neat. It was a very interesting little project to go through my strings and get rid of a bunch of things very quickly. Now, the other thing with this, when you're doing portholes like this, you don't have to just put one circle in. You don't have to stop there. You can put circles and lines. If you don't want to change the shape of your circle, you know that trick about where if you put 1-inch piece of fabric through a block, it doesn't just change the size of the block, it just adds interest to the block? Well, there you are. You know, you can just put a circle through or a line through the circle in the background in like a complementary color or a contrasting color, and all of a sudden you have a very different block with a very different modern feel. So we'll get to our ta-da moment here and we're good to go. And here is our ta-da moment. Right now, isn't this cute? This is kind of just a fun little block that we did by making a porthole. We used our bubble blocks and did a porthole. Now, this is where it comes your choice. If your block insists on laying flat, right, like the string, because of the number of seams that are in the string block or the crumb block, it's going to look like reverse applique, right? Because it looks like you've appliqued the backing onto the circle, right? If all your seams go under, right, like they're forced under because the background is, you know, being ironed so it pushes under, this looks exactly like applique until people get closer and they go, how did she do that, right? So this is kind of one of those fun things. Now, you can also take this, and I haven't, the same block. This is the black one, and this is last week's blue one. Again, you can make these into art blocks. You can do whatever you would like to them, because you've taken a fat quarter and now you can put a cat or a coyote howling at the moon. You can, you know, whatever, like whatever you want to do. You can make this into an art block. You can make this into a modern art block just by adding a 1-inch strip of, you know, color through the block, just to give you, you know, a very modern, like twisted up, you know, aesthetic. You know how the trick where you do the 1-inch strip, you cut a line through, you sew on 1/4 inch on one side, 1/4 inch on the other side, you line it all back up, and you are left with a 1/2 inch strip, but you haven't changed the size of your block. That's the way to do it. Now, funny thing was, we got my husband to iron the same fabrics, but they do look different because of the white or the lighter blues in this one And here, we only have one piece of really light, you know, fabric in here, right? But it does, if you put them all dark, it looks too dark, right? You need to add a little bit of light so it provides the block with a bit of interest, right? So anyway, this is something for you to think about. Join us next Friday for Free Pattern Friday and Bubbles Part 4. I'm going to show you yet another way to use your Bubbles block. Okay, you take care. Have a great week ahead. Bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our little fun adventure here that we're having. We do have a Facebook group now, and that Facebook group is got some very, very talented quilters in there, and we love sharing and you know, posting pictures and commenting, and it's been a lot of fun. And the advantage of the Facebook group is sometimes I drop patterns in there early, so you kind of get a hint as to what is coming next. After the nosegay sew along, we're going to be doing curves boot camp right away. So we'll get you sewing those curves, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of interesting little blocks that we've got to work on. But we would like you to share, like, and subscribe. Telling your friends about us and letting them know that you kind of like our channel, that means so much to us here. So you take care. You have a fabulous week ahead. Okay, bye!